So, a few weeks ago, Connor, I mentioned how I've been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And I mentioned how if they want to have a conversation about race, the MCU does want to have this conversation, then they better fucking have it. 3 weeks later, Connor, episode 5, the penultimate episode. Very happy to report that they've had the conversation.
Great.
They've had it. It's a good car, and they're doing it well.
That's good. I'll go and watch that show now.
It's a really good show. So you actually should watch it. It's a really good show.
I refuse to watch any more Marvel products for the rest of my life.
We both know that's not going to be true.
Marvel superhero products.
Nah, that's still not true. I don't believe you for half a fraction of a fucking second. Don't you watch The Boys?
No.
Oh, you should watch The Boys.
It's Amazon, though.
Yeah, you would love it.
I know. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah,
it's really just a matter of like,
The Boys.
I would like that show, and then I just
you would love it. Anyways, no, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier really good. There's one episode that I didn't like. Every other episode has been a banger. Especially this last episode was phenomenal. It pushed literally I'm looking because we have our family list ranking of all the movies and I guess TV shows now with WandaVision. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I would be shocked if it doesn't land top 10. I don't think it's hitting top 5, but it's definitely hitting top 10. It's a really fucking good show. Oh my god, it's so good.
This is just a jab in the dark because it just kind of got stuck in my mind.
Uh-huh.
Is it the second episode you didn't like all that much?
There's a third.
Oh, okay.
The third one didn't care for. Episode 3, not that great. Dialogue was pretty weak. Action scenes were kind of meh. And they did a thing to one of the smaller side characters that they changed her in a way that I didn't enjoy.
Oh, I see.
So, but that is that. But yeah, I'm shocked, surprised, and impressed at how well that they're tackling race. Especially with the show clearly being about the next Captain America being a black man.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's being done so phenomenally.
I'm guessing it has something to do with the false Captain America. I know that came up. Spoiler. Who cares?
No. Well, yes, but no.
It has nothing. It's really just like another thing going on in the movie.
Well, they bring up another element to the show, which is literally just. I think I brought this up when I was talking about the show the other week. There is an element of the show that is literally a representation of the Tuskegee experiments. So and that element has been brought up again this last episode, and the way it's handled is beautiful.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's handling it very, very well. I'm not saying it's like innovating or driving the conversation forward in any meaningful way, but it's handling it as well as the MCU handles anything. It's honestly handling it better than most quote unquote political discussions that the MCU tackles.
I haven't heard much discussion going on with this show in comparison to WandaVision, so my experience is very limited.
There's a lot less intrigue in this show.
It's more basic stuff.
It's more yeah, you're getting some cool action, some interesting plot developments and stuff, but and some cool character moments.
Nothing you really talk about after the show's over, more stuff that you appreciate while it's going on.
It's a lot of like, man, that fight scene was cool. Oh yeah, I liked when he did that. That was neat. All right, see you next week. But I like this show a lot more than I liked WandaVision because WandaVision has some shortcomings. If WandaVision didn't hit, it was really boring. The one episode that didn't hit for Falcon was entertaining enough to watch. But that's beside the point. Connor, let's get to the point and let's drop some sense on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Some pennies on them.
Yeah. What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 39, Connor. On our way to 40. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Connor, say hi to the people.
Howdy.
I just realized I did not give you the breakdown of the order in which we're
I wing it, Tavin.
So we're gonna wing it. And you're gonna have to just follow along. Ladies and gentlemen, this show comes to you every Monday, 8 a.m. YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. If you're there, we're there. We're there. We're out here. We want you to hear. And what we do every week, me and my good buddy here, Connor, we come to you with the new news that you need to know in the video game industry. We come to you with 2 topics each, 2 pennies, if you will, and we give you our 2 cents on them. This week, Connor, let's go ahead and jump straight in to some fun Resident Evil news. Yeah?
There's some stuff that came out over this past week.
That came out. So, Resident Evil had Capcom rather, had a Resident Evil showcase the other day. And they announced some cool things. They showed some cool trailers, and let's just jump right into it. Yeah. So, I'm pulling a IGN article, which has a pretty good wrap-up of everything that was presented in there. Written by Adam Bankhurst. Resident Evil Showcase, April 2021. Everything announced, including Resident Evil 4 VR. Capcom's latest Resident Evil Showcase not only gave us a new look at the upcoming Resident Evil Village and shared that a new demo is on the way, but it also officially revealed that Resident Evil 4 VR will soon be making its way to the Oculus Quest 2. The Resident Evil Showcase also featured a few other announcements, and we've gathered each and every one here for you. Starting with Resident Evil 4 VR announced for Oculus Quest 2. Capcom has announced that Resident Evil 4 is getting a full VR port for the Oculus Quest 2. Pause on this story real quick. Connor, did you see this showcase?
Not with the Oculus stuff. I saw the stuff around it, not the Oculus though.
You missed the VR stuff.
Yes.
Go ahead on mute on your phone. Just pull it up. Look at it. There's a quick. They show the quick little demo right there on the thing.
24 years old.
Just kind of look at that and give us your thoughts when I'm done reading. Back to the article. This version of Resident Evil 4 will be in first person, and while more details will be revealed on April 21st during the Oculus Games Showcase, a short gameplay teaser showed things like Leon holding weapons, interacting with a virtual attaché case, and using a virtual hand crank for one of the puzzles. Resident Evil Village's gameplay demo arrives next week for PlayStation owners early May for all platforms. While PlayStation 5 owners have already gotten a taste of Resident Evil Village, all platforms will soon be able to try out a gameplay demo that will let players explore both the village and castle portions of the game for 1 hour. PlayStation owners will have early access to the demo next week, and the village and castle portions will be separated into 2 days. Each demo will be available to download and play over an 8-hour window, although the game time is limited to 30 minutes for each. Ugh. And then there's a breakdown of region and times of that it's available, yada, 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 yada. The demo will arrive for all platforms, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, Steam, and Google Stadia on May 1st/2nd, and players will have an hour to play both the Village demo and the Castle demo, and can choose how they split their time. More breakdowns of when the demos break. Resident Evil Village trailer features Lady Dimitrescu, Ethan Winters, and more. Wow, our latest look at Resident Evil Village featured Lady Dimitrescu, everyone's favorite tall vampire lady. It also focused on returning protagonist Ethan Winters. The new narrative trailer also reveals more about the titular village, Mother Miranda, Umbrella Corporation's involvement, and Ethan's confrontation with Chris Redfield, and much more. Resident Evil Mercenaries returns in Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Mercenaries, the popular time trial mode that's been around since Resident Evil 3, returns in Resident Evil Village. The mode was last seen in Resident Evil 6, and the idea is to let players compete in high-score challenges by racking up kills and collecting time extension bonuses. It will include new features like power upgrades and weapon shops between rounds. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness is about a zombie outbreak at the White House. Capcom premiered the first trailer for Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, a new animated movie coming to Netflix this July. Infinite Darkness reunites Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield as they wait for it, fend off against a zombie outbreak in the White House. And as you may recall, Leon once rescued the president's daughter, Ashley Graham, in Resident Evil 4. This time, he's keeping President Graham safe from zombies. Side note, hopefully he does a better job than he did in Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, he didn't do a good job. In that. Now,
didn't do a good job.
Quick question: is this canon?
Counter question: do we care?
Potentially, depending on where they're going with the whole Resident Evil multiverse. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm gonna guess no. The other Resident Evil animated movies aren't canon.
Yeah, but maybe
those
were good. So not good. So that's the problem. I don't know. I guess we'll
We'll
out.
touch back on this. Resident Evil Dead by Daylight collaboration announced. Dead by Daylight is getting a collaboration event with Resident Evil. Behavior Interactive will reveal the Resident Evil chapter on May 25th during Dead by Daylight's 5th anniversary stream. The collab chapter will be released in June. So, Connor, let's circle all the way back to Resident Evil 4. First off, you watched the showcase?
That was very impressive looking. A lot more than I thought it would be.
The VR.
Yes, the VR.
Yeah, it looks good.
I know.
You know, it looks so good. In fact, it might do it, Connor. It might push me over.
Oh, really?
I might do it. He flips the gun and then juggles the knife, and that was cool.
You see, that kind of stuff is the reason why I wanted it. I can't remember the game. It was something like Blades and Magic, something like some stupid generic name.
Yeah.
For a VR game where you're like fighting off people with swords and stuff. Looked very cool. You can do that kind of stuff. Seems like they're kind of amping up their game by doing just Resident Evil 4 in that same style.
I played Resident Evil 4 extremely late. You've never played Resident Evil 4.
No.
Resident Evil 4, I get it. I think it's extremely overrated. I don't think it comes anywhere near the conversation of best game of all time, like so many people online say it is.
Those are heretical words to many people.
I know. It's very brave of me to say something like this.
Very brave. Good for you.
However, I think Resident Evil 4 is a really good game. The mechanics in 4 in how, shoot the legs to cripple them and then do a thing. I think that in VR would be so fucking fun. Yeah. Like, it would really elevate that game to the next level. It might even, if everything is done well, including the set pieces and stuff, excuse me, this has potential to be the best way to play Resident Evil 4.
I mean, it could make Resident Evil 4 scary because Resident Evil 4 is not known for being scary.
It's not super frightening. No.
But a first-person perspective of things might change that up.
To have the ambient 3D audio and hear that chainsaw guy coming up behind you and turning around and realizing there's like a million dudes behind you. Okay, yeah, that would be kind of freaky. I wouldn't like that. When you pop a headshot and a parasite pops out of the head of the Las Plagas, whatever, that would be quite frightening to see in VR. Everything to scale and it's literally right in front of you. Okay, I can see how that would be kind of creepy. I'm really, really intrigued to see how this Resident Evil 4 VR port is going to work.
Yeah.
Connor, the Resident Evil Village demo and gameplay demo, do anything for you?
I won't play it, that's for sure.
The demo, neither will I.
No, there's no reason for me to at all. If I'm going to play the game, I'm going to just do it blind without having to play a demo.
Yeah. Now, I'll say Resident Evil with the RE2 remake demo and the 3 remake demo, they both did things like this with the timed, like you can only play it for so long things. I think Resident Evil 2 it wasn't timed, but it had like a definitive end. It only let you do like the first hour.
Yeah.
Once you got into the police, the Raccoon City Police Department. So it only had like the first hour of that. So you did like some puzzles and stuff. Resident Evil 3 was on a timer and said, hey, you have 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it was. But I will say they changed puzzle solutions and they changed things. They put enemies in different places in those demos. So I'm expecting that to happen here so that when players jump in and explore the village for the first time and explore the castle for the first time, when they jump into the real game, things will be different. It's very interesting to me that they're splitting the demo the way they are. One village, one castle. I like that there's dichotomy between the two. That makes me think village is going to be a lot more Resident Evil 4 inspired, and castle area is going to be a little more
Resident Evil 1.
Resident Evil classic type of level design.
Tight-knit hallways, weird contraptions all throughout the house, stuff like that.
Which I've always said that's when Resident Evil is at its best. But I'm excited to see how the village segments of that game work.
It is in the title.
The breakdown of hey, you can only play in this 8-hour window for 30 minutes each. Kind of lame, but all right, whatever. You can also, if you want to spend your full hour in one demo or the other, you can choose to do that.
Yeah.
Which is neat, but kind of weird and a little ridiculous that you're doing that.
One good thing that I heard come out of the demo is I know some people got access to it early. Specifically, one pretty big Resident Evil YouTuber, and she was talking about how Ethan Winters acts like a completely different protagonist in this one as well.
Not much of a personality in the 7th game.
No, and she was saying that it kind of breaks that a little bit because he's acting differently.
Yeah.
But just besides all that, he just acts like an actual protagonist.
Probably an actual character this time
He's an
around.
actual character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy for that, because that was always kind of... Haven't beat Resident Evil 8 yet, but...
7.
Seven yet. But that's kind of a downside to that game. Cool to see that change.
The character of Ethan Winters is such a, like, whatever, who
blank
cares?
canvas,
yeah, just this, like, blank canvas, whatever thing. To make room for the Bakers and their the atmosphere that they bring to the player.
Right.
I agree with you. Probably a negative of that game. So I'd be excited to see Ethan Winters become more defined in this next game and actually have a character to talk about. You know? Resident Evil Mercenaries side mode. You and I don't have a lot of experience with Mercenaries game modes. We played a little bit of it in Resident Evil 5 back in the day.
It was fun for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm not into the time trial, score attack type stuff. Not my cup of tea, especially with how this Resident Evil first person gameplay works.
It's not like Resident Evil 5 where you can have a lot more action in it.
Yeah.
You're running around a lot
And
more.
also I think the
proactive.
co-op nature of Resident Evil 5's mercenary mode helped
That too.
a lot.
Yeah, it did help a lot.
So yeah, I'm not really interested in this. I'll jump into it, try it out, but if there's no trophies tied to it or anything, I'm probably not going to spend too much time in it.
People asked for it, so happy for those
Here
people.
it is. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. Connor, the Netflix movie, animated movie. They showed a trailer, had a couple of scenes. What did you think? Did you watch it? What did you think?
No, I avoided it.
Really?
I'll probably watch the show.
You think?
So it's just, it's anime. I kind of have to.
It's not anime. It's 3D animation.
Animated. It's animated.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't watch it.
I'll say, looks okay, I guess. Who cares?
Oh, okay. I thought that was an anime.
Looks kind of bland.
Oh, yeah.
Looks kind of bland. Not super interesting.
Maybe it'll be an amazing animated Resident Evil movie.
You know, if it comes out and everyone's like, hey man, this is actually pretty dope, then, you know, fine. I'll spend the 2 hours watching it, you know. Sure. Dead by Daylight.
Interesting. I play that every now and then.
Neat.
Be cool to see what new characters come from
Dead by
that.
Daylight's a good game. I think the characters of Resident Evil would be a good crossover for it. You know?
They haven't done it yet, actually. They've done one with, like, Freddy and Jason.
25th anniversary, Capcom looking for ways to jump out, you know. Yeah, so I fully expect Nemesis or Mr. X or, I don't know, a Licker or something to be the playable hunter in that. And, yeah, very neat. Connor, anything else to say about the Resident Evil Showcase?
Not really. I mean, it's not... There's new information, but not much really to, dive into.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, these showcases, they're cool. They're neat for Resident Evil fans, but... which I consider myself a Resident Evil fan. But they've yet to be like, oh man, like, that was really, really cool. It's always like, alright, neat, yeah, cool, gameplay demo, okay, yeah, you're doing this thing with Dead by Daylight and this thing. The coolest thing about this is the VR. Which man,
could be your incentive.
It looks really good. It might push me over. Star Wars didn't do it, Connor, but Resident Evil 4 might, which is really strange to me. So, Connor, let's go ahead. Oh, that was my first penny because I'm the Resident Evil guy on this podcast.
Yep, Resident Evil fan.
Yeah. So, Connor, let's go ahead and jump into our second topic, your first penny of the day. And let's talk about Amazon canceling a Lord of the Rings game.
I definitely didn't know about that. Which is surprising, because I love Lord of the Rings.
You do love Lord of the Rings. All right. So this is a Variety article by Todd Spangler. Amazon cancels plans for Lord of the Rings massive multiplayer game. While Amazon is shelling out an epic $465 million for Season 1 of its Lord of the Rings TV adaptation, the company's games unit has canceled plans to send players to J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. In 2019, Amazon Game Studios had announced plans for a massively multiplayer online game set in, quote, a time long before the events of the Lord of the Rings... A time long before the events of The Lord of the Rings, exploring lands, people, and creatures never seen before by fans of the Tolkien universe. Amazon had inked a deal to develop the free-to-play console/PC game title with Liu Technologies, a Hong Kong-based games company, after Chinese media and entertainment conglomerate Tencent Holdings acquired Liu in December 2020 in a deal worth $1.5 billion. Amazon and Tencent failed to reach a deal on revised contract terms for the Lord of the Rings game, as first reported by Bloomberg, resulting in Amazon Game Studios bailing on the project. Quote, "We love The Lord of the Rings and are disappointed that we won't be bringing this game to customers," an Amazon spokesperson said in a statement. "The team that was working on the Lord of the Rings prequel game will be moved to different projects, according to Amazon. News on the cancellation comes after Amazon Game Studios last year scrapped plans for Crucible, a third-person, last one standing game of trust and betrayal. The unit's much-delayed New World, a sandbox MMO game in which players engage in a struggle to conquer and colonize a new world wilderness, has been rescheduled for summer 2021 release. The Lord of the Rings-based game project was separate from Amazon Studios' massive adaptation of The Lord of the Rings, which encompasses a multi-season production commitment produced in cooperation with the Tolkien Estate and Trust, HarperCollins, and Warner Brothers New Line Cinema. Leyu's Athlon Games had previously announced a long-term licensing agreement with the Middle-earth Enterprises, a division of Salzance Company, or Corporation, rather,
I can't help you here,
that owns exclusive world rights to Tolkien's literary works, to develop and publish a Lord of the Rings video game. Connor,
Yeah?
is anybody asking for a Lord of the Rings MMO?
Well, I was saying before that the last Lord of the Rings MMO that came out years ago was very popular. I don't know how it did financially.
Yeah.
So it could have made almost no money at all. But people loved it. People really, really liked it. It was a solid MMO. But I never saw anybody asking for this at all. I wouldn't ask for it. Of course, I'm the only MMO I've really wanted to put time into that I played a little bit of already is Final Fantasy XIV. So, if I'm going to have that, I'm not going to have another MMO. I can only handle one MMO. So me personally,
like most
I'm
people.
not even interested.
Like most people.
Well, I would hope most people, because that's a lot of time and energy. But I don't think anybody really cared all that much. People care about the TV show that's coming out, which I'm happy that's not canceled. But frankly,
well, Amazon puts out TV shows.
They do.
Invincible is pretty solid.
Yeah. So this could be good as well. But
everybody go watch Invincible.
Amazon hasn't had a good track record with their video games. I mean, they delayed games, they've canceled games. They don't seem to get anything out. Amazon
showing a lot of parallels here to how Google's gaming ventures have gone in the last few years.
Yeah, a company that just is big and important in
big
certain industries, but they just try to get into things that they don't have any business getting into.
Yeah, they're not set up for this. If they wanted to publish and fund certain games and studios, I could see that working a lot better. Excuse me. Better for them. But yeah, them going out on their own, trying to compete with the Sonys and the Microsofts, I just don't think it's a good idea. Yeah. The Epic Games, I don't think it's a good idea. I really think y'all should rethink your strategy here, because it does not seem like you guys know what you're doing, and every major attempt to break out here has either been canceled, delayed to hell, or just nobody cares.
Nobody cares. No.
Nobody cares.
No one's dying for Amazon to be releasing games. We don't like you even with your delivery services. Don't go too far.
That's about all we got to say on that, right? Yeah. So, Connor, moving on to our third topic, my second penny. I think a real quick one, more of a non-story here, but interesting nonetheless. Square Enix denies recent potential buyout rumors. I'm pulling an article from Game Informer by Liana Rupert. With Microsoft and Sony both making some wildly major power moves regarding acquisitions for a new generation of gaming, all studios are seemingly up for grabs when it comes to the rumor mill. Earlier this week, Bloomberg Japan published a report that Square Enix was in talks with multiple potential buyers, and the company itself immediately turned around and shot it down. Square Enix kicked today off with a firm statement against the rumors that spread fairly quickly, saying, quote, Bloomberg has reported today that there is an interest from several buyers to acquire Square Enix. However, this report is not based on any announcement by Square Enix Holding Corporation Ltd. We do not consider selling off the company or any part of its businesses, nor have we received any offers from any third party to acquire the company for any part of its businesses. Some have picked apart this message only focused on the first half, where it doesn't seem like an outright no. Based on any announcement could simply mean that nothing from behind closed doors has surfaced. But the message as a whole is quite clear. No offers have been made, and no outreach attempts are the goal. Could that change in the future? Absolutely. Anything could happen. But the most recent reports are inaccurate according to the company itself. It's important to note that companies having potential investor/buyout conversations is nothing out of the ordinary. They happen all the time. That being said, in no way do these conversations automatically mean something will come of it. Sometimes it's just gauging interest. Sometimes that conversation comes naturally as part of other discussions, but oftentimes it doesn't mean what people assume it means. The rumor mill was quick to pick this report up and run with it, with predictions that this could be the next Microsoft acquisition. This rumor was beefed up even more with Xbox's Phil Spencer's previous commentary about wanting a stronger working relationship with Japanese studios and more RPGs. Wow, there are undoubtedly more acquisitions on the way from both Sony and Microsoft as the healthy competition between the two in the market space continues to heat up. Square Enix has officially left the chat.
I didn't mention to you, I had seen this earlier on in the week. Specifically Bloomberg buying them. I had seen a lot of rumors going around before Square Enix denied it, and just dread filled my body when I saw that. I was like, I don't want Bloomberg to own anything Square Enix related.
That's not, no, you misinterpreted that. Bloomberg is just reporting on investors buying it, not Bloomberg actually buying it.
I remember some of the rumors were that Bloomberg was buying.
The fuck would Bloomberg do with a fucking game studio?
Exactly, which is like, I don't want that to happen.
I think you misread something.
No. Then I saw Bloomberg deny it, and then they denied it. I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, so good that that's not happening. I get what you say when he's kind of saying it's a non-story. Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
I think Square Enix is doing fine on their own. You know, nothing indicates that they need to
Avengers?
be bought out by anybody else. Okay, Avengers is bad, but you have things like Final Fantasy 14 Online, which just keeps
Final
going.
Fantasy is kind of the only thing keeping Square Enix alive right now.
And good for them. Good for Final Fantasy. Hey, it sold lots of copies. I think they're doing just fine.
Tomb Raider failed. Was
Raider
Hitman
failed?
Square Enix? No, Hitman was IO.
Yeah.
IO gave Hitman up. So okay, that doesn't count. Okay. Tomb Raider didn't hit.
No.
Avengers didn't hit. Avengers should have hit.
But it didn't.
But it didn't. But it should have.
Fumbled it.
So that's a problem. You can't put out a Final Fantasy every year. How did Kingdom Hearts 3 perform?
It made money. It was.
Did it make money or did it make enough money?
It made enough money.
It made enough money?
Yeah, it did. But it just wasn't very well received by Kingdom Hearts fans themselves. Because you have to remember, people were waiting for this game for years.
Yeah,
it came out,
and
people didn't like it.
That's the problem. And like we just saw last week with Days Gone 2, it took too long to make.
Yeah,
it took
a very long time to make.
The returns might have been nice, but there's an argument to be made that they weren't nice enough. You know?
Sure.
I'm not saying Kingdom Hearts is a dead franchise. No, not even close. There will probably more than likely be another Kingdom Hearts game. I would think probably a spin-off instead of a Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, there's no.
You think a 4?
Something like that.
Okay.
Let's not talk about the story of Kingdom Hearts and whether there's a sequel.
Listen, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2 right now on Hype, twitch.tv/2pennygames, Tuesday every 1 p.m. Central Time. I have no interest in diving in deep with this fucking whatever bullshit story you think there is there. Anyways, by the way, we should be finishing up Kingdom Hearts 2 this next week. Tuesday, twitch.tv/2pennygames.
You hope.
We hope.
Mm-hmm.
God, I hope.
Your thoughts on
These
that
games
game
are long,
changed?
man.
Oh, they are long.
These games are long. You can catch my full review after the hype here in a few weeks. Now, I don't know, man. I don't see it. Listen, in the same calendar year that, well, I guess not count. Was it a calendar year? The purchase went through recently, yeah. So in the same, real year that Microsoft just bought fucking ZeniMax with Bethesda games, I can see this being a thing. I would never in a million years have guessed ZeniMax was looking to be acquired.
I mean, it definitely still could be. There's like they were saying, it's up in the air.
Yeah.
Just because things aren't happening doesn't mean that they won't happen.
I think.
You think what?
I don't know. I think if they came out and said, yeah, we're looking to be acquired, their stock would plummet.
Mm-hmm.
This is a publicly traded, publicly owned and traded company. So I think them being like, no offers have been made is a way to cover their bases and keep stock prices high, or keep stock prices up rather. No, I could see PlayStation, especially with the relationship that PlayStation has with Square Enix. I could definitely see them making an offer for Square Enix.
Now, PlayStation I'd be fine with. I was like, hey, you already do a bunch of stuff with them.
Yeah.
But my only issue with that is, once again, PlayStation's always been known to want to keep things on the PlayStation and not really work with anybody else. So things like Final Fantasy XIV Online on the PC, and the hopes that we're getting a Final Fantasy VII Remake version on the PC.
I don't think Final Fantasy XIV Online would go anywhere.
It probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I think new expansions and so forth would still go to all platforms.
I would think so, but it's PlayStation. You never know what they would choose to do.
You do never know, but after what Microsoft's been doing with Minecraft for all these years, to turn around and do that to Final Fantasy XIV, I understand these are two different games. Minecraft is way bigger than Final Fantasy in general, especially the MMO. I think that would be a terrible move. And I think even Sony knows that. Even though Sony is prone to making terrible non-consumer friendly moves. But there's no way they could make that mistake, right? That's too... But then again, I was just a few months ago saying there's no way Cyberpunk 2077 could be bad. But then here we go.
And it was, yeah.
Connor, let's go ahead and move on to the final topic of the day. I think the most interesting topic of the day. And your second penny.
Of course.
Let's talk about how gaming battles COVID.
You never thought you would hear that. I mean, like, except for the fact that people aren't, going out because they're too busy playing games online inside.
I'm too busy playing video games now. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyways, this is a report by WKRN. Who are they? I don't know who they are.
They're a local news channel.
Oh, okay.
I didn't actually look into it.
Okay, great.
But that's going to change.
But they just posted, Alex Dennis is the writer. They just posted this article saying, Vanderbilt tests video game to help COVID long haulers with brain fog.
It's fucking Nashville. Of course it's Nashville. Vanderbilt's in Nashville.
Quick explanation. Long haulers, people who are dealing with COVID-19 symptoms way after, for months on end. Some people are still dealing with shit now, and they got it when the fucking pandemic started. It's real tough. Wear your masks.
85% of long haulers have experienced this brain fog.
And they've also experienced the brain fog, which is having trouble focus.
Issues. You lose focus of things randomly. It's kind of in the same vein as the losing the taste part, where you just lose something.
Real quick, WKRN, if you throw this fucking Kroger ad at me one more fucking time, I swear to fucking God.
You don't like Kroger?
It's just the fact that it's a pop-up ad that takes up my entire... Oh, it's because I'm holding my mouse over the ad. That's why it's doing... Okay, never mind. My fault. I mean, it's still... Your ad's a little feature. Ridiculous here.
I got it.
Anyways, to the article. Brain fog has become more prevalent among those who've recovered from COVID-19. It disrupts the ability to manage and carry out daily activities. 85% of long haulers have lasting brain-related symptoms, according to a study published in the scientific journal, Annals of Clinical and Translation Neurology. Jim Jackson is the director of behavioral health at the ICU Recovery Center at Vanderbilt, and he explained, quote, "The symptoms that occur in COVID survivors in many ways fit the symptoms people have who have acquired brain injuries. Jackson has seen the effects facing long haulers and fears this challenge may be the next public health crisis. Quote, "There isn't any doubt that significant numbers of people are having significant problems. That should give us pause. That should give you pause. Because before you react quickly to dismiss the validity of a person who is describing these things," Jackson said. "The solution to the issue may lie in a video game. The company Acolyte was the first approved by the Food and Drug Administration to effectively treat patients with impaired cognitive function using technology." Did we cover this on the show when that happened, or was that before?
I don't think so.
I think that was before we started doing the show. I remember that happening, and I think it was before we started doing the show. Because we definitely would have covered it, right?
We would have.
There's no way we would have missed that. Quote, "You can be diagnosed with ADD or ADHD," Jackson said, "and you can get a prescription to use the Acolyte game and technology. The idea of digital therapeutics was developed a decade ago by a renowned neuroscience. Now, the game has been altered to hopefully help COVID-19 survivors find relief. Quote, it's engaging your brain in a certain duration with a certain intensity. When you're doing better, the challenges get harder. When you're doing worse, the challenges get easier. There's something about the interplay that's equivalent to using a workout analogy to expert training, said Jackson. Vanderbilt will enroll trial participants in a 4 to 6 week study exposing them to specific sensory stimuli to activate the brain in hopes improvement translates to better everyday life function. Quote, this is grounded in robust science, Jackson explained. We'll see what it shows, but there are reasons that we're hopeful about this potentially changing the trajectory of survivors of COVID-19 with cognitive impairment. The first round of trials will involve 100 Nashvillians. Additional trials are expected to follow.
Would be a good solution.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I want to understand how this AI works. Because I saw the game. It's not like a simple puzzle game. Like there's like some like platforming and like simple things happening. I want to know what kind of AI systems they're working with to get that to work.
It's kind of hard to say what the results are going to be without the actual study have taken place already. But the researchers seem confident that what they're doing is actually going to attribute to helping this brain fog problem with the COVID survivors. And it'd be nice to see some positive results coming from video games like this.
It would be great. Now, no, I've got nothing else to add. This is really cool. This is really interesting.
Just a nice story to see and develop later on.
It's something that I hope to follow on the show, but sometimes we get carried away with news of the week, and unfortunately we gotta obey some clickbait type stuff. We're dealing with YouTube here. So yeah, I would love to see a follow up on this. But I remember when the was it the FDA?
Damn it! I just deleted.
FDA. First allowed for treatment with this Acolyte game. I remember that happening, and if we didn't cover it on the show, that means it happened before the show existed. And I was like, dude, that's fucking fascinating. I really hope that leads to something. And now look at us, it's leading to something. So, yeah, can't wait for an update on this. Definitely going to keep an eye out on that, and hopefully everybody at home will too. Connor, that's it. We've dropped the cents
on everyone else.
So,
done it.
Connor, let's go ahead and jump into our kind of bookend segment here with what we've been playing. Connor.
Yes.
I've only got one thing to talk about, and I don't think it's very interesting. So what have you been playing?
Well, two things. Well, one thing, but kind of another thing. So I ended up finishing Amori. I finished that game.
Great. What'd you think?
I could not put that game down, and now that I've completed it, it's going somewhere near or on the list, Tavin.
Oh!
It's really going there. I absolutely loved this game.
Oh.
The gameplay after it
looking
at the
lineup we have for the rest of this year, do you think there's anything that's going to knock it off of a 10 list?
Well,
top 10 list?
Here's the thing. I should specify.
You meant all time?
So the gameplay itself it's fun, but at the end of the day, even though it has an emotion standpoint from thing, like the emotion system where you inflict yourself or enemies with emotions to do certain traits to help you take them down in battle. Even though that's interesting, it's fun when I'm playing the game. The gameplay isn't really super special or memorable, despite how, once again, fun it is. But the story and the characters and the unraveling of it all just comes apart so amazingly. And it's one of those games that you play, and then the next couple days, it's just, man, you think about the implications of what happened in that game. I cannot say anything about it at all.
Game,
it's very good. I teared up a couple times.
Oh.
I'm not the kind of guy to cry because I'm a manly man.
How long did it take you to beat?
Actually about 27 hours. So longer than I thought it would be.
Not too big,
Yeah.
but a solid chunk of time.
I did some side content as well, and I left it on for like 2 hours that one day, and maybe another hour while I was gone.
Okay, so not an accurate count, but
I missed out on a lot of side content, I found out, because one of the first things I did after playing this was I went and watched a YouTuber doing it, because I wanted to experience somebody else playing the game, just to see how they, if they felt the emotion I did, because I'm a sociopath, and I wanted to make sure that I was I don't know where I was going with that joke, but
make sure that you were justified in your feelings. Connor, sociopaths don't feel.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Yeah, that's why I didn't know where the joke
Anyways.
was going. Absolutely amazing game. Before it gets played by everyone to hell, and you know about what happens in the story because memes will be made of
Gotta play it.
the game, you should play it. You know, maybe it won't kick off. It definitely deserves to, because I found out this game was actually made for over the course of 6 years. Took a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, and the changes it went through and what it ended up being is absolutely beautiful from a visual standpoint, because they really updated that stuff a lot. And
Fantastic.
once again, can't really say much about it without spoiling. Play the game. Play it.
Okay. What's the second thing?
The second thing is I just touched a little bit of a touch with some friends on another fighting game that I was playing a little bit of.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Disclaimer.
Okay.
I know I'm getting into a lot of fighting games.
Oh,
I almost punched you.
What just happened?
It almost punched you.
We're okay. My mic arm freaking out.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue. Fighting game.
I'm not. It's not like I'm. A lot of the fighting games I've played up until this point, I'm not super diving deep into them. I'm just playing them casually with friends or touching them every now and then, so I can at least be semi-competent. But I think I found a new game to actually sit down and play.
Sorry.
You're fine. With the game Blaze Blue Central Fiction. So it's a game made by Arc Systems Works, the same people that did Guilty Gear, the first fighting game that I've actually gotten into. Like Guilty Gear, it looks very good. Not as good as the upcoming Strive, because that's a new game, and this game came out in 2016. But I enjoyed a lot of the characters that I play-tested for a while. I settled on the main protagonist of that game series, Ragna. And I only played it a little bit, because it was at our mutual friend's, Spencer's house. And I'm really wanting to get back on it, because the little tiny bit that I played was absolutely fun. You know, it's pretty fast paced. The moves are very satisfying to pull off. It seems like it's got enough unique mechanics to, actually set it apart from other fighting games that I play. But I'll probably, maybe come back with you when I get more on that game, because once again, I only played a little bit of it, but I enjoy it.
All right, fantastic. I have been spending most of my time with Ratchet and Clank Going Commando.
Yeah.
Trying to, I beat it. And I'm in my New Game Plus. I'm deep into my New Game Plus right now. Just kind of
New Game Plus?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Ratchet games have New Game Plus, bro.
Huh. Have they always had that?
Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's really, really cool. Going Commando does it the best, so when you start the game, each weapon has like a little experience bar that you can fill up and you get like the ultimate version of that weapon. And that's pretty much it. You just get that. But New Game Plus, they give you the opportunity to buy every weapon again at much higher prices. Mm-hmm. And then you can level it up, a second time. So there are 4 different variants of each weapon in that game. You can't go backwards. Once it's bought and upgraded, that's the version you have. Which is unfortunate, because sometimes I like a weapon better in its initial state than its upgraded form.
And then it upgrades, and you're like, oh, well, I gotta do it. And now I gotta use to learn this.
Yeah. But, and then New Game Plus, they make everything harder. More enemies take more hits. They deal more damage.
So you kind of need those upgrades?
Yeah, you kind of need those upgrades. Like, one of the first weapons you get it's called like the mini nuke launcher or something, where you shoot like a bomb. If you don't get the upgraded version of that gun is useless.
Ah, okay.
Like, it's like one of the more powerful weapons until later levels of the game on your first run. In your second run, it's just a piece of shit until you upgrade it. But once you upgrade it, so far, it's one of the more powerful weapons in my arsenal. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting how the rebalancing works, in this game. There's also a bolt multiplier where, like, as you're killing enemies without taking damage, you have a multiplier that increases, so you're getting more bolts faster, which is why it makes sense that all of the new weapon prices are jacked up so high.
Yeah.
And it's also a way to get you to. It's also a way to get you to highly priced items like the Rhino, the rip ya new one, which is like the big it's basically like Ratchet and Clank's answer to the BFG.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm basically just right now I'm just cleaning up trophies, grinding out some bolts, playing for funsies, until I get that sweet plat.
Dang, that's tough looking.
That's where the Rhino. Which version of it? That's the one from the first game. Yeah, that's also my favorite design because it's big. That one, I believe, is the one that in the second and third, and I think the iconic one now.
Yeah, first one looks a lot better.
Dude, it's huge. Anyways, so that's where most of my time has been spent. I did touch out Outriders again. Played it with a buddy of mine. Still having fun. Still a good time. We were coming across a lot of like glitches and some difficulty spikes that were a little frustrating. One glitch in particular, we failed a combat encounter, and it booted him outside of the combat encounter, and he couldn't get back in.
Huh. Still having those technical issues.
I was
then.
too underleveled to fight it alone. So it just led to me getting massacred and then him just watching from the outside. And then we were like, all right, we're done. And we haven't touched it since. But, I would like to go back to it because I still really do enjoy the combat in that game. The ability to like just leave cover, go out and experiment with different abilities and different uses and combos and stuff. It's really, really fun and I really enjoy it. And I do want to unlock, I think I've got one more ability to unlock, and the last one I unlocked was really, really cool and I really like it. Mm-hmm. But the big thing I've been playing, that's new, at least, is I finally jumped into that Star Wars Republic Commando.
Okay.
Quote unquote new, I guess. But, yeah, I guess it's a remastered port of it on PlayStation. I think it's a PS4 game and a Switch game. Mm-hmm. This is my first time playing it. And I only really played the first level or so, or I'm in the first level. I'm still in the Battle of Geonosis. Fans of the game will know what that means. I don't know if the entire game takes place over Geonosis, or if it's just like this intro level or something.
I think it goes to other planets.
Yeah, but I spent about an hour in it, hour and a half maybe. I like it. It's fun.
Everyone I've met that played the game says it's just a really solid shooter.
Yeah,
fun shooter.
It's a fun little first-person shooter. You have like your squad of dudes who like each like specialize in certain things and shit, and you actually command them and tell them what to do. So if there's, for example, if there's a computer that needs to be hacked, you point at the computer, go hack that. If there's like a sniper position, you can tell your dude to be like, hey, take that sniper position, start shooting dudes out the air or something. And how you incorporate all of these things does affect how hard or how easy the fight is, and how smart you position your men, and how when you choose to give it's real simple commands for the most part. It's, hey, charge forward, hold this position, follow me, or neutral kind of stuff. It's real basic stuff that's all set to hotkeys and stuff. And then, if there's like a special thing like hacking or planting an explosive device or sniping, like I mentioned before, it's like a look at the thing, press X, and then they'll go do the thing.
Yeah.
But the game is deceptively, I don't want to say difficult, but it's not afraid to punish you for fucking up.
No.
For example, I told my men to go charge an encampment, and they got fucking destroyed. Mm. And then I had to be really careful and figure out my way to get to, you just revive them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
And I had to be really, really careful and be like, okay, let me shoot these three opponents, kill them, and then I'll rush in, revive one, and then provide covering fire while he revives the others. So yeah, I really like it. I'm gonna get back to it. It's pretty simple in its actual shooting mechanics. You point and you shoot, and then you throw a grenade every once in a while. But it's fun. It's a good time. There are different weapon modes. Like, you have like one main weapon, which is like your assault rifle or whatever. But like, I've acquired a sniper rifle modular that I can apply to it, and then like with just the press of a button, and then there's a cool little animation where he takes a part off and puts a new part on, and then now I have a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. It's a good Star Wars game. It's a fun time.
Glenn played that game back in the day, and he really liked it.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I like it. Very, very old school Battlefield.
Yeah.
Very old, like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 2. It's a lot like that. Except you can't take control of your squad mates. But yeah, that's about all I've been playing. Right? Yeah, that's it. Man, we need to get back to It Takes Two. We need to finish that game off.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be it for your Two Penny Gamescast reminder. You can catch us live at twitch.tv/2pennygames, where me and our good buddy Phil do a show called Have You Ever Played? Acronym to Hype, where one of us shows another one a game that, the other hasn't played before, and the first one, showing him game that I love that he's never played. For example, we've done the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games. We had a great time with that. We finished that off. You can see Phil's thoughts of a modern gamer's take on Metal Gear Solid, the first 3 games, that is, at least. Right now we're doing Kingdom Hearts 2. We should be finishing that off this week. Please come, join us, see how I feel about it at the end, and then catch my review later. Twitch.tv/2pennygames, Tuesdays, 1 p.m. Central Time. What was your question?
I'm curious. What's the next game you guys plan on playing?
So really right now we're kind of just killing time until Mass Effect Legendary Edition happens.
Okay.
We're doing a bunch of one-offs. We're not quite sure what order we'll go into. I'm thinking we'll either jump into the first Uncharted or the first Sly Cooper next.
Uncharted's a better game
than Sly Cooper?
Tavin, come on.
Uncharted 1?
Oh, well, I mean... I can't tell you
We
that.
will be playing the remastered version, because that's the best version to play.
Well, then you'll have the second one after that, so might as well. They're short games.
It's also a lot of third-person cover-based shooters,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, anyways. Yeah. So, I think next week... I don't know. I'll flip a coin. It depends on how we feel. But we'll either be doing Uncharted or Sly Cooper. Mm-hmm. Granted, Sly Cooper 1, not a phenomenal game either. But it's fun. So yeah, please catch us there. Twitch.tv/2pennygames. If you're looking for this podcast in the future or on other platforms, we come every week, Monday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. On YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Is there one I'm missing, Connor? I don't think there is.
You said all of them at the beginning of the show.
I said them all. Download it there. Rate us, follow us, subscribe, hit the bells, hit the like buttons, all of that. Drop a comment. I would love in the future to have a segment where I've got 2 pennies, you've got 2 pennies, and the audience has 2 pennies. We can jump into more topics, more news stories, and make this show even longer.
Sometimes we extend pretty far. Not this time, I don't think.
Not this time. We're sitting 50-ish minutes. So yeah, please do all those things. Get the what is it called? The
word out?
No, not well. Yes, get the word out. Share. Send it to your friends and families and all that, or your nerdy some nerdy dude you like or Yeah. No, what is it? Engagement. Get that engagement up. That's what I was looking for. But until then, everybody have a great week. Stay safe. I'm gonna say again, rest in peace, DMX, man. Still fresh.
You still sad about that?
Still fresh. I've been bumping. What's the name of the album? Now I gotta pull it up.
And you call yourself a DMX fan.
I know. I like the singles. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I've been bumping that album all week. It's a great album. 1, 2, X is coming from you. Anyways.
I was like, oh god, how long is he going to go with this?
But until then, everybody, have a great week. And Connor, say bye to the people.
See ya!